what is up? We're just gonna take a few minutes and just enjoy the ambiance here while I get some announcements sent out. Alright, we're just getting, like I said before, we're getting some things set up here. Hold up, gotta send a text message. Okay, I think we're about ready to go. All right. So yeah, for those of you tuning in, this is a stream where I am running the dungeons here on Chrono Trigger, making tutorial videos out of these. Basically, we are just about tapped out on everything we can do that's easy. So, right now, as far as I can tell, we got two pretty big checks that are left. We got Genodome in 2300 AD, and then we have Mount Woe in 1200 BC. Neither of which are fun. They are not fun checks. They are like the last checks that you absolutely want to do. Now, Genodome is really good for leveling up, and Mount Woe is just a booger. It sucks. It is like the absolute worst case scenario of every single runner playing this game. But unfortunately, we're at the point now where we have only like 3 checks left, realistically. But the other thing, too, is we have to get the 65 million BC, and we have to get the gate key in order to be able to do that. Yeah. So, okay. So, we're gonna get started with the tutorial making. So, just a reminder for all of you that are tuning in and watching this live, you are absolutely more than welcome to type in chat. You're welcome to, just talk about what's going on in the game. I'm totally okay with responding to live chat while I'm making these tutorials. So yeah, just for those of you that don't know what this is a Chrono Trigger Randomizer, where you take the game of Chrono Trigger, you throw it through a randomizer program. It shuffles all the key items, bosses, characters, texts, treasure chests, shop items, you name it, you can randomize it in this game. So currently we're running a standard race flag seed with normal difficulty, and we're kind of going through all the dungeons, but it's looking like with this particular seed, we have to run all the big dungeons because all the easy dungeons did not give us what we want for go mode. You see there's a go right below here. That needs to be green before we can legitimately go to the end of the game. Now, the problem is we don't have what we need to go to the end of the game. So, yeah, so we're gonna do those checks. So, we're gonna get started here. By the way, just before we start here, if you really like what you see, please hit that follow button. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure that you also, if you would like to leave a rant, that would be fantastic. And there are subscriptions available. $5 a sub could go a long way to helping this channel grow here on Rumble. Also, we actually need to do a follower alert before we get started here. Thankfully, Rumble on the mobile, you can figure out who follows your channel. So, this one is for Junior Justin.
It's raining tacos from out of the sky.
So that one was for Justin, Junior Justin. He followed the channel last night. Hey, Will, what's up? How you doing?
Doing okay. I'm assuming you're live.
Yep. Yeah, I'm live.
You're just a time, so I'll bow out.
Oh no! Yeah, I mean, I haven't started the tutorial yet. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So what's up? How you doing?
Would you like to adopt some dogs?
My daughters would be very amenable to that.
Yeah, no.
Yep, all yo yans.
But no, I'm just watching through, I guess, some PC gaming showcase. There's some interesting games being shown.
Yeah, definitely that mariachi game looks pretty interesting.
I figured you'd enjoy that one.
But I was like, why is it all in Japanese? What's wrong?
That was Japanese?
Yes! That was not Spanish.
I don't know. I don't speak French.
I was like, why is this? This is about Day of the Dead crap? Why is it all in Japanese? This is weird. I don't know. You'd think from, like, what is it called? Like, Freedom Games, I think is the name of the company. I don't know. I thought it was a little weird. But did you see what I posted? Squirrel with a gun?
Yes, I saw that.
I need to get that game. That is a game I have to acquire. Because okay, for those of you that are new to the channel, I have a history with squirrels.
Not a good history.
I had a bad experience with a squirrel quite a while ago. It has gone down in legend as the infamous squirrel story. One of these nights, maybe for a sub goal. Maybe I should make it a sub goal. Yeah, we'll make that happen. A sub goal. If I get 5 people subscribing to this channel, I will regale you with the squirrel story, with original artwork depicting the entire thing from start to finish that was written the day of it happened. I have it in my mission journal still. So I'll have to bust that out, make it extra special. Okay, we'll put that in the works. Excuse me. We'll put a banner somewhere. 5 subs equals squirrel story. That ought to hook some people, right?
Yep.
I think that ought to work. A lot better than that a-hole that was saying $10 for 5 push-ups. What a jerk. That's stupid. Dude, I do 10 push-ups for $1. You kidding me? Yes.
You'd pay me to let you do 10 push-ups.
You pay me No, Will's like, okay, you pay me, and then Feral does the push.
No.
Or maybe
Feral,
on your stream, you should have a thing on the bottom. Make the Feral do push-ups. Donate $1. So that.
No, Feral. I'm saying that you would pay to be allowed to do push-ups.
Well, I pay to do a 6.5-hour race, so I guess you're technically not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, so if you want to bow out, you're more than welcome to. You don't have to.
Well, I don't want to cause issues with your like if you're trying to set up like tutorial stuff for just a time, because that's important.
Okay. All right, sounds good. I'll actually bow out and voice chat myself then if you want to hop in text chat or whatever.
Okay.
All right. Bye, dude. Okay. All right. Okay, so we're gonna get this thing started here. And 3, 2. Hello, what is up? Welcome back to the Frito Bendito Taqueria. My name is The Feral. We are continuing on with our Chrono Trigger JOT Randomizer. And we're continuing on with our tutorial with our standard race flag seed. Now, if you notice the tracker down below me, we have a lot of things filled. We kind of have a problem here, okay? Our small problem is that we are steadily running out of things to check, okay? So, oh, I just realized we haven't done factory yet. So, okay, so basically what we have left in terms of what we have unlocked is we haven't done the factory. Factory gets you to the end of time. So we haven't done the factory. We haven't done Genodome. We haven't done Mount Woe. Okay? So we haven't done those 3. Now those 3 are the factory is to get to the end of time. Typically that's done to unlock magic. Now, I know that they have changed the rule set or changed the flags to where if you get to the end of time, you then can go to 1200 AD or 1200 BC. So the question is, if we can go to 1200 BC through the end of time and be able to unlock it. But wait a minute. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. Anyway, we're going to go to the factory. We're going to do the factory. We are going to go do that first. So remember, this is done from a live stream on the Frito Bendito Taqueria. And if you like what you see here, please follow this channel. If you are watching this on my Jets of Time channel, oh, no, we just got to back out of that. Okay, so we do need to do the factory. Okay, so we're going to do the factory here. So this is standard factory. So the thing to understand about this is that typically you're going to want to have people with AoE. But what we're actually going to want... I think we can get away with this, because I think Robo has... Okay, he's got Robo Tackle, so we got Fire Tackle. We got Fire 2, Flare, Mega Bomb. Okay, we got Uzi Punch next. You know what, we're gonna... No, we're gonna bring Morrow back in the party. So now, typically in the game, you have to have Robo in order to do this part. Now, because of the Jets of Time, we do not have to have Robo. Robo is only required for the Sunken Desert check. So just understand that. You know what actually we're going to do? Okay, so you have to beat these guys in order to get up to there. Just get her done with Flare. All right. All right, so we got Team Girl Power going to be running through the factory here. So the factory isn't that big of a problem. Now remember, if you are doing this for a speed run, you absolutely do not need to do the right section of the factory. Now, I have had factory go way south on me. Okay, now the thing is you have to defeat these guys, and you want to take out the acid first, because if you don't, it will trigger a combo attack. They have insanely high defense. They have insanely high defense. So if you have like Uzi Tackle, Confuse, or a Triple Kick, that's what you're going to want to use those on. Because they are no bueno. And if you attack an acid, yeah, there you go. So if you go across the top here, you skip all of those battles. Go across the left. And then you go down, and that skips all of those battles. Okay? So remember, when you come into this room, go across the top, go down the left side, then down the bottom. And that skips a bunch of battles. Okay, now this one is pure RNG. You have no idea how many acids and alkalines are going to fall. Okay, 2 acids, 3 alkalines. So what we're going to do is we're going to, once again, use Ayla. Use her triple kick to take care of an acid. And then we'll throw her a hyper ether so then she can roll it again. I'm not too worried about hit points. But if you try to bowl through this with a massive triple attack, it's not going to end well. There you go. All right. Now that actually is kind of the... Yeah, that's the last battle that you got to do in the factory. So factory usually can be pretty quick. So just remember... X, A, B, Y. Or if you're playing with a non-Xbox... or non-SNES controller, it's just up, right, down, left on the face buttons. So basically, on this part, you just gotta run down. So they basically made this to where you do not need Robo. Oh, dang it. Okay, now remember, all the way to the bottom. All the way to the left. And then, here we go. So in this version, you only have to deal with 4 R series instead of having to deal with the 6 R series. We should be able to flare these guys, and that should take care of them. Yep. Okay, bye-bye. There you go. That got us our ice too. All right, so now we have what we need in order to go to the Protodome. Now the door behind whoever our mysterious characters open, and now we go to the end of time. Excuse me. All right. Okay, so that is it. Okay, so now you're at the end of time. Now you're thinking, well, can I just use the bucket? No, you cannot use the bucket to go to the end. And your wing Jets of Time is not here. Your epic is not here as well. So you still have access to the well to restore your hit points. And then you can save your game. You can talk to Jaspard, but there's no real reason to talk to him. Okay, if you do not have unlocked magic. Unlocked magic is a part of the standard race seed. If you do not have magic, you need to go in here and talk to Specchio. And then run around the room 3 times, and then you get magic. So, but yeah, so that basically ends it here. So you can see here, Banger Dome is there, Guardia Forest is there, Lean Square, Earthbound Island. So this is how you would typically get to the Earthbound Island. Hey, Andrew, what up, dude? How you doing? So this is how you can get to the Earthbound Island. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop this recording right now. For those of you that are watching live, I'm making tutorial series for this. So I'm going to say, I am saying I'm ending, but I'm not stopping the stream. We're going to continue on, but we're just going to roll into the next section of the tutorial. I'm then going to come afterward and splice stuff out in order to make the separate videos for each dungeon that I'm uploading to my channel. So, yep, so that's going to be it for this particular video for the factory chat, or the just running through the factory, getting to the end of time, and kind of what you can do here. So the next dungeon we are going to run is we are going to run Mount Woe. I'm not a fan of that, but we're going to rock it. So, thank you for checking out this video here on Juts of Time. Hope you like it. If you want to see more, check the Discord down in the comments. This is how, this will send you to my Discord, where I will tell you everything you need in order to get started running Chrono Trigger Randomizer runs. If you love Chrono Trigger, this is a fantastic way to have some fun with the game. So anyway, thank you all so much for tuning in. Check us out on our next video. Until then, my friends, good night, Isaiah Norris, wherever you are. I'm out of here. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. All right, there goes that one. Okay, Mount Woe. I really don't want to do Mount Woe. Mount Woe sucks. I freaking hate Mount Woe. But we got to run it because we're out of checks. We're literally out of checks now. I have to do something to get to 65 million BC because we still need the Bent Hilt, the Clone, the Chrono Trigger. We need those 3 things. But the only checks we have left are Mount Woe, 65, the Nizbel's Lair, and then the Sunstone check. Those are the only 3 we have left. And the Go mode is behind one of those, and I don't know which one it is. So unfortunately, we are going to go to Mount Woe. I am so not happy about this. It has been forever since I've ran Mount Woe. So this one's not going to be a fast one because there's a lot of stuff that you can skip on Mount Woe. I don't know how to skip it all just because I don't run it very often. So anyway, all right, so here we go. We're going to start the Mount Woe in 3, 2. Hello, what is up? Welcome to the Frito Bandito Taqueria. My name is The Feral. Welcome back to our Chrono Trigger Juts of Time tutorial series. And on this episode today, we are going to Mount Woe. Yeah, Mount Woe is basically the worst case scenario of running Jets of Time because it's in 1200 BC, so you have to get the pendant to go to, well, so there's a couple different ways you can get to it. You either get the pendant to go to the future do the factory, which then unlocks the end of time, which then gives you the portal here to get to 12,000 BC. I always say 1200. It's 12,000 BC, okay? Next, you go through either the Tyranno Lair or Magus's Castle. That then puts you in 12,000 BC. But the thing is, in order to go to Magus's Lair or the other one, so... Know nothing about Chrono Trigger, Andrew. Oh boy, Chrono Trigger is fantastic. It is one of the best JRPGs ever created. So you have to basically have Go mode if you're going through Magus Castle or the Tyranno Lair. So you don't have to go to Mount Woe. So you only go to Mount Woe if like everything else has failed you. If everything has failed you, then you go to Mount Woe, which we're kind of there. So the only other place we have is the Genodome, and I'd much rather run Mount Woe than Genodome right now, so we're gonna do it. So in our last stream, we kind of left our Jets of Time we left our ride back in 2300 AD. So we kind of got to go back and get it because it doesn't come with us to the end of time. And I went to the wrong freaking gate. Look at me go. I so know this game. It's the center one. I got to go through the center one. So, all right. So you got to go back through the center gate here. Got to go back through the center. Oh, come on. Come on. There you go. Got to go to the Protodome. Protodome is where we parked our ride. So we got to get our ride. And since... Can we take that to the end of time? I'm not familiar with running this. Doing this actual route. So I do apologize if it sounds like I don't know what I'm doing. But I don't run this route very often, if at all. Okay. So once you get to the end of time, you unlock 12,000 BC in the Epic. Okay, so now we're here. So this usually pops us right here, right next to the Skyway. Well, the problem is if you don't have Go mode, the Skyway is sealed. Okay, so just because you have access to 12,000 BC doesn't mean that you will have access to everything. Okay, we don't want to do that. Okay, so we want... Okay, so we can actually... So, yeah, Terra Cave. We want to do Terra Cave. This is how we get to Mount Woe, okay? So in Terra Cave, we have a shop. I think shop is through here? Yes. Okay, shop's up here. Oh, good. We can refill our ethers. Okay, don't want either of those. All right. So there's not much else that you can do here in the village. One of the nice things that they did was they took out the beast fight that's right next door to here. Okay, you know... Oh, yeah, no. We already healed ourselves, so we're good. So there is an inn here as well, so you can heal up. So... Okay, so we have to do this fight. So we have to do this fight first. We should be able to take it out with an ice, too. If not, Fire 2 will take him out. So remember, we have Prism specs on Luca, so her attack is boosted like 25-50%. So she hits hard. Oh, okay, yep. So we got our second battle here. We're just gonna throw a flare with Luca. We'll just flare him. So yeah, if you wind up getting Prism specs early, you got a good seed. You got a very good seed if you get Prism specs early. Alright, so here we go. We're running up here. So this battle does not happen. Alright, so we're headed up to Mount Woe. Okay, so now remember, you have these rubbles. Rubbles are very nice, except for the fact that they are very time-consuming. So if you are running a race situation... Ooh, and an elixir. So you get 1,000 experience and 50 tech points, which isn't bad. So most of these fights we can actually run away from. So we're going to be doing that for most of these fights. Now, the experience and or items is not necessarily worth it from those battles. So we don't want to take a lot of fights here. Excuse me. So with these rubbles, they typically evade a lot. So we got really lucky on the last one where Luca got a one hit, got a single hit on it. So that 50 tech points is really nice if you're kind of behind on tech points. Okay, so if you hug the right, you're going to avoid a couple enemy triggers. I don't want to take that battle. That's the problem with these guys. All right. So basically, if you have Aura with Marl, that is definitely your strongest cheap healing spell. That's right. This one always triggers a battle. The blue yo-yo. Alright, we got pretty lucky with that one. Those continuous texts take up a lot of time. Blackmail's not too bad. Remember, one of the things that we can do... one of the reasons why we definitely want to... one of the reasons we like hoarding equipment, especially so we can sell it. So, depending on what we wind up getting, in terms of our next key item check. Yeah, those yo-yos hit like trucks. Alright, we're gonna do a quick heal here. Okay, good. Yeah, we're gonna want to heal here. Alright, we're not doing too bad here. Ugh. Sometimes with these late game enemies, you can kind of get some that have really good they have really good drops. So sometimes it's worth it. Chaos is no fun. Okay, so we should have one more area after this before Mount Woe. Yep, this is the last area. Ooh, speed tab. Power tab. All right. All right, what's my speed? 12, 13. There you go. All right, here we go. Time for the most silly-looking boss in this entire game. Freaking Gaigas. Here we go. So now this guy's gonna be a pushover since I'm like way. Oh, I gotta go up to Balthazar there. Okay, bye. That face. That face is fantastic. All right, Anthropode 3. Oh yeah, I gotta charm him. Best attack ever. $4,200. Are you kidding me? Oh, no. Alright, we'll still use Anthropode 2. $2,500. Alright. Gaia. Gaia goes down. Ooh, we got a Prism Helm. That's good. That's a great drop. All right, what we get? If this is Gate Key, I'm gonna be pissed. If this is Gate Key, I'm gonna be stupid pissed. Chrono Trigger. All right. Well, we got the Chrono Trigger. We still don't have Go mode. We still don't have Go mode. So that means Genodome has the Gate Key, which then we need to go to 12 million BC. And then we got the clone and the bent blade. Wow, this is like the absolute worst seed ever created. This is absolutely one of the worst routes you could possibly get. So anyway, so basically you're gonna be stuck if you do not do Mount Woe. You will be stuck with Magus Castle Go mode. Wow, that sucks. All right. Well, anyway, so that's it for Mount Woe. I know this is not the funnest one. It's not that bad. The problem is you got a lot of encounters, and you have those gargoyles that knock your hit points to 1, which that's really annoying. So you're gonna have to take time to heal up while you're in the middle of it. You got Kiss or Aura. That Kiss, Aura, or Frog's heal. Lick, I think this is Lick. So that makes it really easy, especially when you're not using a lot of magic. When you're running up Mount Woe. There's a number of tabs. There's a decent amount of equipment if you want to loot all the chests in Mount Woe. If you're doing a Jets of Time, if you're doing, there's a different rule set. I think it's called, I can't remember off the top of my head. But anyway, we're going to get out of this cold. We're going to head back to the future in the next episode. So, anyway, we'll leave it on here. That's nicer music than all that Blizzard stuff. So anyway, thank you all so much for tuning into this video about Mount Woe. If you like what you see here, please follow the channel here at Chrono Trigger JOT Time. Leave a like. That would be fantabulous. Also, make sure you join the Frito Bandito Taqueria and join the Discord down below. Trying to build a community of JOT Time speedrunners here on Rumble, and love to have your support. So if you like what you see, leave a comment, hit a like, hit the follow, do the thanks. And, yep, so that's going to be it for me. So until then, my friends, good night, Isaiah Norris, wherever you are. I'm out of here. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. All right. Well, I was planning on doing Genodome tonight anyway, so we're gonna roll right into Genodome. Ugh. Good golly, Miss Molly. Wow, this is a crappy seed. This is a terrible seed. This is the seed nobody wants to get during an actual race. So, all right. You know what we're going to do? We're going to actually go to the future. And we'll start this in the future. Actually, you know what? No, we'll start this one in the Dark Ages. All right. Okay, so we're gonna start here in the Dark Ages, and then we'll shoot to the future and do Genodome. Ugh. Yeah, the good thing is we have a boost, a very much so boosted fire too, so that'll carry us through that beginning section. Oh, excuse me. All right. All right, here we go. Genodome. 3, 2. Hello. Welcome to the Frito Bandito Taqueria. My name is The Pharaoh. Welcome to another Chrono Trigger JOT Time speed run tutorial. And today on stream, we are going to be going to... I can't believe we're doing this, but we are actually going to go to the Genodome. So in our last episode, we completed Mount Woe. We got the Chrono Trigger down below, which is half of the Black Omen Go mode. And all we have left now that we have access to is Genodome, because we have the Sunstone, but we can't charge it because we got to go to 65 million BC. And we don't have the gate key, which was required to get the 65 million BC. So therefore, gate key has to be at Genodome, because in these Chrono Trigger speedruns, they have logic built into the randomizer to where you can complete every seed. Okay? There's no way that they're going to lock the gate key in 65 million BC. That's not going to happen. Okay? They're not going to lock the pendant in one of the future 2300 AD checks. Also not going to happen. So that leads me to believe that the gate key has to be in Genodome. So in Genodome, we want to pop in our epic, and we are going to the future. All right, so first thing we're going to do in the future is we actually need to get a quick heal, because so we just finished off the Gaia battle. So typically, if you're doing this fast, this will not be a place that you want to go and heal up because of those 4 enemies that are here. But since we're not really doing this under race conditions, I don't really care. Okay, so now in order to get to the Genodome, we're gonna go kind of north and east-ish. Nope. And it's down. Okay, yeah. So basically, if you want to get there, the easiest way to get there is start off at the starting 2 domes. I never remember what they are. So start at the Banger Dome, go west until you kind of hit these 2 islands, go south, and this is Genodome right here, okay? Now, word of warning about Genodome. For those of you that don't remember Genodome, this is one of the absolute late-game dungeons. This is a big dungeon. This is not a dungeon to be taken lightly. You must have a good AoE spell or a Lightning 2 spell. If you want to have any prayer of getting through this dungeon, you need those 2 things. Now, currently, we're sitting at level 27, 26. This game can theoretically be beaten at level 30 to level 32. So we're going to be psychotically over-leveled by the time we get to Magus. Typically, for racing, there is a leveling spot in both the Black Omen and in the Ocean Palace. Ocean Palace's area is a lot easier to grind. Black Omen, it's just on average, the enemies have a higher level, so you get more experience on average, and you build up your level pretty good before you face off against Queen Zeal. Now, Genodome, like I said, it's not one that you want to check early. If you get to 2300 AD, you typically save Genodome for last. Unless you rolled some really good techs, and you have some pretty high-powered spells early in the game. So we're going to start off at Genodome. So typically, you have to have Robo in your party in the vanilla game in order to do this. But in Jets of Time, you do not need to do that. So Fire 2 should be good enough to take care of these guys. Yep. Yeah, so we're going to save a lot of MP by using Fire 2 as opposed to Flare. So Flare costs 20, Fire 2 costs 8. So we're going to hit a lot more with Fire 2 as opposed to Flare. I think we have access to a Silver Stud. So the Silver Stud will knock our MP consumption by 25%. But for this, I'd much rather use the Sunshades, or the Prism Shades. Prism Shades gives us a 50% damage boost. We'll actually confirm that after this. I don't know if it's 50 or 20. I think it's 50% damage boost. So that's pretty darn big. This conveyor belt is actually a really good place to grind some levels. There are some runners that'll actually run through this loop once or twice just to grind out the levels. High enemy density, very quick to do. You get nearly 15, you get anywhere between 1,000 to 2,000 experience in these battles. And a high-powered Fire 2 will be able to take out everything. So this works out very nicely for grinding levels. The big thing here are those tech points. Those tech points are pretty big. All right, so now the infamous big room. The big room. All right, so a couple things we got to take care of right off the bat. We got to take care of these debuggists. Because if you don't, they're going to mess up a part that you have to do right after this. Okay, good. Fire 2 takes out all of them too. Very nice. Ooh! Oh boy. Oh boy. They drop speed tabs. That's huge. That is monstrous. Okay. So now those of you that don't remember Genodome, you have to grab that little doll thingy. So we're going to fight this other debuggerist over here because these guys drop speed tabs. And we're taking those speed tabs gleefully. Because we want Luca and Marl to throw out Anthropode 3s as fast as humanly possible. So, yes, please, I will take that speed tab. Oh, yeah. No, that is absolutely worth taking extra fights. Okay, so a couple things you got to remember about Genodome. So, you have that nasty conveyor belt that is a part of what's known as the conveyor skip. So, you got these 3 enemies right here. We're just going to be throwing fire 2s all over the place. Get used to this, amigos. We're going to be using this all the frickin' time. Because most of these battles you cannot run from. And you might as well clear them out if you're at a high level like I am. Oh, shoot. Okay. That's right. You do not need to do this. You do not need to check that. All you had to do, you just need to flip that switch. Okay, now, next thing you got to understand are those little balls that you see just above them. These balls can completely wreck your day. They can wreck your day faster than you can say banana split. All right? You need to destroy these guys fast. Okay, because they have insane speed and they hit like a truck. And if you are not able to get a spell off fast enough, they can decimate your party very quickly. Ooh, Hyper Ether. That's good. All right, so now remember on this one, it's the left one and the right one. And then that opens this, okay? So now we have mostly all of the things all set up. So you need to go in there. You do not need Robo for this. So you grab the electrical charge, you run over, you run through the belt, and you can set up the opening, okay? All right, so that's doll number 1. Now, doll number 2 is over there. Now, there is a skip you can do called conveyor skip. Now, conveyor skip is very hard to do. It is a very advanced trick. So, basically, you get the charge, you run all the way up here, all the way over. You have to hit that first, and then you'll pop in there, and then you don't have to run around in that room all the way over in order to get on the backside of that security beam. So I'll give it a shot once, just for, Okay, so the thing is, you want to start... Okay, there you go. Yeah, I've already lost too much speed. Yep, I've already lost it. So typically, yeah, you'll get about there, and then you can't do it, all right? So that's how you do, conveyor skip. So you can run up in here. This triggers a funny scene. That triggers a funny little scene. That is absolutely not necessary. You can pick up the 2 chests in here. If you want the extra tech points, not a bad idea. Now, the reason why we typically don't fight the debuggerist in the lower right-hand corner of that previous room, because that fight is absolutely not necessary. We only took that fight because I figured out that... Oh, and another speed tab in there. Very nice. So we can bump both of them up another point. So that one has 2 chests in it. You can come into this one. Now, understand, that is not a tab. This leads to the outside. You only take this out if, number 1, all things have gone wrong and you absolutely cannot finish this dungeon. That is the only way out of this dungeon. Number 2, you want to run through the conveyor and get more experience in tech points that way. Okay, so in order to not do, if you cannot do the conveyor skip, which honestly very few people can do the conveyor skip, so you're going to want to go through that door. But what we actually want to do first is we want to clear this route. So we got a couple more of these little jerks. We got a couple more of those jerks that you got to finish off. Basically, you need about, I think it's anywhere between 11 to 12 speed. I think it's 12 or above on a character to be able to get it. So we have 13 speed on Luca right now, so she will get that every single time, and another speed tab. Now, typically you would fight a Tropos there, they took Atropos out. You can fight Atropos on the boss randomizer, however. You can fight Atropos on the boss randomizer, but you will not find her in the standard Jets of Time. Which isn't too bad. The only thing to remember about Atropos, if you do wind up fighting her, is that she has that self-destruct spell at the end. Usually, at the point when you fight her, she's kind of a pushover, so you don't really need to worry too much. It's just something to remember. So we got a bunch of these little jerks that we got to finish off here. So if you want to do more of an optimized run, you don't want to do these now. You want to do these ones right when you're ready to set up your 2 dolls. But I don't really care on this one, so I'd rather just take them out now. I want to show you a chest that I've had drop really good accessories. Now, if you want to drop off your first doll, okay, that doll you pick up over there is the one on the right, and it did the demon doll. So, there's 2 chests down here. There's 1 chest there, and then you get to see this lovely portion where humans are turned into your speed tabs. Alright, so you gotta go through that in order to get this chest. That's an elixir. I've had a green dream there before. I've had some pretty good items in that chest, so I tend to like to check that one. If I'm willing to take the gamble. That reminds me. Okay, so we only have shockwave for her. Okay, we got another prism helm, so we'll pop the prism helm. Okay, so both those 2 have prism helms now. Okay, we'll throw a haste helm on her. Okay, Aeon suit is the best that she's gonna get. Aeon's the best that she's gonna get. Let's see here. Let's do... Yeah, we'll throw a magic seal on her. Her magic is 66. Yeah, Luca hits like a truck. Like a freaking Mack truck. Alright, so we gotta go down this long hallway here. So we got these guys we gotta deal with. And we all know the drill. You see we screwed up? Yeah. So that's what it's gonna... That's one of the things that it's gonna do. So it'll hit itself, and then it'll hit all of us, which sucks. It's just a big time waste. If you're doing this on a race setting, that is like the worst time waste that you can get here. Alright, so with that done... Hey, Hyper Ethers. Hey, stocking up on Hyper Ethers is fantastic. Alright, so here we are trucking through, so we have to go through here. We hit that. So now what that does is that reverses the conveyor belt. Dang it. I forgot to heal up. So basically, if you don't trigger that thing before, you're going to have that other little worker bot right there. So he joins that battle, but that's not that big of a deal since the Fire 2 makes short work out of all of them. So we're going to want to give her some... So that's basically the last battle that we need to do here in the Genodome. So what we're going to do is we're going to run over here. So we'll have plenty of time now to get back up there. I mean, you obviously don't want to dawdle. Okay, there you go. So that's now done. So grab these 2 chests. And another speed tab. Then you touch that guy. So, maneuvering this guy is an absolute utter pain in the butt. So what you want to do is you want to run across the conveyor belt. Now you want to head down. You want to hang out here for a minute. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to do a pretty big skip. Because getting that guy to go all the way around is an absolute pain in the butt. But what you can do is you can come over here and you can bait him over and he will just glide over that little part there. So you got to make sure that you're on the same tile as he is in kind of the X level, or the bot will completely screw up. So your whole goal with getting that bot is to get the bot over here, because if you don't, you're going to get punched back by that guy every single time. So there you go. So that's the whole reason for, if you can get the conveyor skip, you don't have to deal with that whole secondary hallway thing. But like I said, conveyor skip is stupid hard. It is possibly the absolute hardest trick in the entire Jets of Time speedrun. So what you can do is, I'll show you what's through this door as well, since I can. So you can go there, you can go up through here. So if you go through here, you can get 2 chests here, but you're gonna, oh, wow, you don't have to, actually do not have to fight anyone. I thought you did have to fight people. All right, so we're gonna take this elevator back again. So now that we have our second doll, we are now ready to take on Mother Brain. We're gonna burn a shelter here real quick. Actually, no, we don't need to, do we? Yeah, no, we're good. Yeah, we're good. All right, so with Mother Brain, we're basically gonna Anthropode 3 it, because we'll basically just hit it, destroy it in a couple shots. Typically, you don't want to destroy all of the panels, because if you destroy all of the panels, Mother Brain goes absolutely berserk, and you don't really want that unless you know that you can beat the crap out of it really quick. So we're gonna do that, because you don't want Mother Brain to go berserk, or you're gonna have a really bad time if you have an underlevel party. But we have a pretty high level party right now, so we're just gonna destroy Mother Brain very quickly. This should deal about 4,500, 4 to 5,000 damage. 4,700, that's about right. There you go, one shot. And gate key. There you go. Now we got go mode. All right. There's the gate key in the freaking Genodome. Ugh. All right. Well, that's Genodome. Genodome is very, very good for leveling. If basically you get go mode very, very quickly, Genodome is not a bad place to grind out a couple levels before you go. But like I said, you have to have some AoEs. You have to have some way to deal with the crowds in order to get through that conveyor. And then once you get through that conveyor, you can just pop right through the dust chute. That'll shoot you right back outside. Then you can hop on the conveyor again. It only takes about 2 to 3 rounds, and then you're pretty much good to go wherever you are for the end game. So yeah, so that gives us gate key. So now what that does is that allows us to get to 65 million BC. For the purposes of this walkthrough, though, we are actually going to run through all the dungeons. So we are still going to do Nizbel's Cave. We're going to do Tyranno Lair. We're going to do Magus's Castle. And then we're going to do the Black Omen, which involves us doing Death Peak, and then Black Omen. And then we're also going to do the Ocean Palace to fight Lavos. So that will be on future episodes, but that's going to be it for this episode. So thank you all so much for tuning in. If you like what you see, please hit that follow button. Watch the Frito Bandito Taqueria's live streams most nights at around 8:30, 9 o'clock to 9 o'clock start time. And join the Discord down below. Get any information you need to start running these seeds yourself. Would love to have more people. Would love to set up some friendly races here on Rumble. So if you are interested in running the seed, please let me know either in the comments or join the Discord, and I will get you all set up with what you need. So until later, my friends, have a great rest of your day. And until then, good night, Isaiah Norris, wherever you are. I'm out of here. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. All right. So that finally gets us the go mode. That finally gets us our freaking go mode. By golly. Excuse me. Yep. Ugh. I can't believe it. Geiki was in Genodome. Yeah, that's a pretty crappy go mode right there. That's a bad go mode right there. So yeah. All right. So we're gonna gear up and we're gonna head to 65 million BC, and then I think we'll do Sunstone check first. We'll do Sunstone check, and then we'll do Dactyl's Lair, and then that'll give us that'll be good for a full episode. Because the Sunstone, that's a really, really quick check. So, all right. Okay. All right, here we go. I think we'll do this one, and then we'll call it for the stream tonight. So, all right. Well, if you're in chat, if you're hanging out, lurking, thank you so much for hanging out while I'm making these videos. Basically, for Chrono Trigger JOT Time, I plan on finishing these tutorials. Man, it's a little stuffy in here. I gotta pop my little fan on over here. So I plan on making these tutorials, and then after that, I plan on running some JOT Time seeds. Unfortunately for me, I am not that fast at running these things. So typically I am not capable of finishing a seed during a single night of playing, because it takes me usually about 2.5 to 3 hours to finish these seeds, and usually I only have about an hour to 2 hours to actually play. So yeah, it's not preferred. But I like to run the early dungeons just to try and see how fast I can get go mode. But yeah, I could definitely do that within 2 hours, typically. So, anyways, all right. So we're doing Sunstone, then Dactyl Lair. All right. Okay. All right. Here we go. In 3, 2. Hello, what is up? Welcome to the Frito Bendito Taqueria. My name is The Pharaoh. Welcome to another JOT of Time tutorial. So, as you can see in our tracker down below, we have a green box that says go. So that means we have officially completed enough checks. We've acquired enough key items to get go mode. Now, the go mode that we have unlocked is through Tyranno Lair. That means we got to go to 65 million BC. We got to do Tyranno Lair, which then gets us to 12,000 BC, which then we have the Ruby Knife, so we can do Ocean Palace and then fight Lavos. Now, for the purposes of making these tutorial videos, we are not going to do that yet. We will definitely run through all of the major go modes, but we still have 2 major checks that we need to do. We still have the Sunstone check, and we still have Nizbel's Lair's check. So on this episode today, and and we still got 2 more characters we got to get. So we know Frog is in the Frog Vanilla's location, but we cannot do that until we reforge the Masamune, and then we present it to Frog, and then we would unlock Frog. Which Frog is required for the Magus Castle go mode. Now, we also know Magus Castle or Magus himself, the man, the myth, the legend, is going to be at Dactyl Nest. So, we are going to first unlock 65 million BC, and in order to do that, we need to go to the present, and we need to go to Medina Village. So, we are going to go to the Monster Hut. Medina is over here. There's the residence. Give me the cake. Thank you. And don't mind us. We're just gonna hop in your cupboard here. Ayla pounds a cold, refreshing cup of chocolate milk. And we're transported to 65 million BC. Okay, so they dispense with that first little cutscene there. So we got Hyper Ether there. Yep. So now, typically in 65 million BC, you don't really want to tackle any of these major, you do not want to tackle Nizbel until you have, oh, by the way, in terms of shops, there is a shop here. Gold earring. Nah, I don't want any of these. So there is a shop there, if you want to check it. You do not trade in Jets of Time. You do not trade Fang, Horn, and Feather. You do not do the trading at all in Jets of Time. So do not waste your time acquiring stuff. Oh, that's right, that's right. We're gonna do, Sunstone check. So Sunstone check is what we're gonna do first. So if you acquire the Sunstone anywhere, you cannot do that check until you have unlocked 65 million BC. So what we have to do is we have to come here to 65 million BC. We're gonna leave the Moonstone in 65 million BC. And then we are going to hop in our little spacey ship. And we're going to go to the future. And what's funny is continental drift actually happens. So you see it actually shifted up and to the left, oddly enough. So continental drift exists here. All right, so we got the Sunstone. So you look in the tracker below, you kind of see the Sunstone has gotten a little more sunnier. So that means you have the powered up Sunstone. Now, the powered up Sunstone, you have to take it to 1000 AD. And at 1000 AD, we have to go to Guardia Castle. So in Guardia Castle, we actually want to go to the basement. And finishing the King's Trial is required for the Sunstone check. Okay? Now, the reason why you might want to do Sunstone check, even if you already have Go mode, is you can get a very high tier piece of equipment out of it. Okay? And that's by going to Luca's dad. And we get the clone. Alright, so then he pieces out. So that is the Sunstone check right there. So we're not going to finish there tonight on this video. So we're going to head down. And we're going to go talk to Luca's dad. We're going to get that awesome swank top tier piece of equipment. Alright, sup, Pops? Ooh, another haste helm. Depending on if I have enough to buy... Oh, but that's a trade-off, though. Okay. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that when that time comes. All right, so now we're going to go to Dactyl Nest. Dactyl Nest, it kind of sucks. So the key to this is waiting there. Ah, he caught me. So you got to run from these. We should be fast enough to run away from basically everything at this point. So remember, the only reason you do Dactyl Nest is to get another character. Since we know that Magus is here, we absolutely would not care about getting Magus. If this was a standard race, if this was a race that I was doing, I wouldn't even bother with this check. But we can get a couple items here. You want to run away from all the battles here, just because they're all not worth it. There's a couple skips that you can do here. This one, you can kind of set it up. Oh my gosh, I did it! I've never done that skip before. I'm sorry, that... I have never done that skip before. If you line it up just right, you can pop to the right of that rock, and you can just slide right behind it. And I did it! Okay, so that one's pretty tough. That one is a pretty tough skip, but you can learn it if you practice it a lot. So, okay, so that's the first skip. Now this is the second skip here. There is a very thin window here. Nope. There's like a 1 pixel window where if you run in the right vertical, you can basically do what I just did with the stone, and you can slide right through that trigger. Now that's the final enemy encounter there. So basically, if you nail those two, this can go very quick. Like I said, that's the first time I've ever nailed that rock skip. So I'm pretty stoked about that. Hold on, we got a comment. Let's see here. We actually have a comment. Close all. Hold up. Let me see what that comment is. Thank you for the comment. Notifications. Well, Gigla Mocha. Yes, this game is fantastic. This is actually a randomizer of the game. If you are actually in chat, thank you and welcome. This actually is a randomizer version of it, where we've taken all the items and stuff and thrown it all together. So, sorry about that, got a little sidetracked here. But yeah, so that basically is the Dactyl Nest check. All that is for a character. Now, why would you want to run Dactyl's Nest? There's two real reasons why you want to run Dactyl's Nest. Number one, if there's a character that locks a check. Now remember, the characters that lock checks are Marl and Robo. Marl locks is required for the King's Trial, which is also required for the Moonstone check, okay? Robo is absolutely required for the Sunken Desert check, okay? And then Frog is also required for the, he is required for the Magus Castle Go mode, okay? So those are the three characters that actually have Go modes and checks locked behind them. Chrono, Luca, Ayla, and Magus, they're not important. Typically, if Magus is locked behind it, if you know Magus is in Dactyl's Nest, don't even bother. Because unless you have a specific reason why you want Magus, he is totally not worth it getting him late game. Because he'll be underleveled. So everyone's at 31. Magus is at 28. So Magus is going to be underleveled. The amulet is a decent reason to pick him up. But if you found Magus in 3200 in the arrow, or the last, that, you know, the character check in the future, that might be worth it just for the amulet. The amulet, remember, gives full-blown status immunity. So the amulet is a very valuable accessory against both Mega Mutant and Lavos. Okay, very important to get that, especially Lavos number 2. I have had runs completely die to Lavos form number 2 because I didn't have enough status protection, and he threw out his I can't remember the attack, but it basically runs a random status effect And if you get lock, you're toast. You're toast. You're absolutely toast. You cannot win that battle. So yes. So yeah. So that's it. That's it for this. So we did Dactyl Nest. We did that, and yep. So that's it for that check. So on this episode, just remember, we did Moonstone check and Dactyl Nest check. And, yep, so next episode, we're going to be tackling Nizbel's Lair, because Nizbel's Lair is a good time, and it's actually a pretty quick check. So, yep, so that's going to do it for us tonight here in the Frito Benito Taqueria. If you're watching on Jets of Time, please follow this channel and check the Discord down below. Drop a like, hit that follow. Would be absolutely fantabulous of you to do so. And, yep, so that's going to be it for me for this episode. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Until later, my friends. Good night, as Norris. Wherever you are, I'm out of here. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. All right. Yeah, I guess I might as well do Nizbel. We'll do Nizbel. We'll do Nizbel, and then we'll reforge the Masamune, and then we'll get Frog. Because Nizbel will go down in one shot. 1 second. Yeah, we'll just do Nizbel. Because then we got the go modes. How do we want to tackle go modes? I think technically... Yeah, I guess Tyranno Lair would be first. Tyranno Lair, and then, Tyranno Lair, then Magus Castle, and then... Yeah, and then we'll do Ocean Palace, so we'll definitely march through... yeah, and then we'll make a secondary save as well, so that we don't have to run all the way back through the Ocean Palace in order to get back out, because you theoretically can run back through the Ocean Palace, but it takes a long time, especially when you're at the depths. Yeah, and then we'll do Death Peak, and then we'll also do Black Omen. So I actually like the Black Omen. I like the Black Omen. Black Omen's fun. So all right. Okay. Yeah. All right, one more for tonight. One more. Nizbel. All right. Yeah. All right, here we go. Nizbel, and Nizbel, Reforge the Masamune, pick up Frog. That'll finish up all of our checks on the left. All right. Okay, 3, 2. Hello, welcome to the Frito Bandito Taqueria. My name is The Feral. Welcome to yet another Chrono Trigger Jets of Time tutorial. So tonight on stream, we are going to be doing Nizbel's Lair. So, we just finished up Dactyl's Nest on the previous episode. So now we're going to head directly south. And we're going to come over to the Reptite Lair, which is where, not Nizbel. Yeah, no, it's Nizbel. Is that the name of that jerk? Yeah, it is Nizbel. So it's Reptite Lair. That's where we're going to fight Nizbel. If you're doing, standard boss seeds. Yeah, we didn't get anything. We don't need to make any changes here. All right, so here we go. Reptite Lair. So Reptite Lair is an interesting one because of this first section. Now, in this first section, you have these 4 Weevils. This is actually a pretty good grinding area. If you are really early in the game and you get the Reptite Lair Go mode, this is not a bad place to grind because these guys give decent experience and they're relatively easy to take out early in the game. That one should be good. Okay, so what we're looking for is we're looking for them to dig on the right side. Yep, there we go. So if they dig on the right side, you have the opportunity to come down these holes on the right side. And these guys and these chests hold top tier items. So you can get some really good equipment very early in the game if you get over here on this side. There are runners that will actually kind of reset the room. Okay, demon hit. That's like the second best sword for Frog. So that's already a... Oh, we didn't get over there. Ooh. Yeah, we didn't get the optimal route. So this is better. But you can get better drops if you wait for them to go all the way over on the right side. Okay. Oh, a Hyper Ether and a Lapis. That's good. Lapises are good. Lapises are really good. They're really expensive. Okay, so you go down two routes to get there. You can hit that on top. Just remember, if they're about to hit you, you can just wait. Okay, so here. So you just run straight up, get past that monkey guy. So now you run up the second one, get past that monkey guy. Now, the thing to remember about these guys is that you either have to hit them with lightning or you hit them with magic. Okay, since we have a very magic-oriented party, we do not need to worry about that. So there's the two skips. And that's it for Tyranno Lair. Now we're going to fight Nizbel and just beat the snot out of him. So, or not Tyranno Lair, Reptite Lair. So Reptite Lair is actually a very fast check. The only thing is, if you don't have good magic or chrono slash, because you can get away... You can get away with Shock and Robo, but that's a really expensive fight because you got to be tossing ethers like no other in order to get his defense down. Or, yeah, so we have to rely on magic in order to get through this battle. So we're just gonna throw two Anthropodes. That should basically finish off this fight. Especially since we're hitting over 4,000. It's fantastic. I've actually gotten Anthropode 3 to hit over 5,000 before. It's insane. It is insane. All right, so there you go. Ooh, a silver stud. That's not bad. That's a pretty good pickup. Essentially, if I didn't have Prism specs... If I did not have Prism specs on Luca, I would definitely do that. Okay, so now we're going to continue on with this particular tutorial because we just received the Bent Sword. Now, the Bent Sword is required for Magus Castle Go mode. So we actually received the Bent Hilt very early on in the run, but now we finally pick up the Bent Sword. So, we would if I was doing this for an actual run, for a race, I would not even bother. I would have gotten Go mode from the Reptite Lair, and I would have gone directly to, Reptite Lair. Not Reptite Lair. I have been totally messing this up. No, you go to Tyranno Lair. I would get, because I already had Moonstone and the Ruby Knife, that's all you need for Tyranno Lair. I would have gone directly to Tyranno Lair immediately when I reached 65 million BC. But like I said, for the purposes of this, we're running all dungeons just to give you an overview of what to expect when running a seed like this. So now that we have the Bent Hilt, we actually can now reforge the Masamune. So we're going to pop right outside Mechlear's hut. You don't need a particular character in order to do this. You basically just need to run to him after obtaining both the Bent Hilt and the Broken Sword. You also do not need to have the Dreamstone in order to do this. He magically has the Dreamstone. Don't ask me how. So remember, Bent Hilt, Bent Blade, or Bent Sword. Take it to Melchior. You get the Masamune. Okay? So then the Masamune is required for the character check at Frog's Burrow. Alright? So now that we have that, We're going to go back to 600 AD, and then we're going to go back to Frog's Burrow to pick up Frog. Now, understand, if you get you have to do this. You have to do this part in order to get the Magus Castle check. So we're going to be doing that on this stream. We're not going to be running Magus Castle. We're just going to get access to Magic Castle. If you do not... Oh, no! Stop it, you dog! A new sighting! Even though this seed is completely cursed, we have been blessed by the new. All right, 'tis thee again. Give him the sword. So now, this unlocks whatever character is here. For this particular run, we have Frog here at the Frog Vanilla location. It doesn't mean... Whatever character is here, you must have the Masamune in order to obtain this character. Okay? Once again, do not risk it. Do not risk opening that menu right there. Basically... Oh, crap. That's not good. We can run away, though. That was me being dumb. Oh, we have the negative Frog. Remember, run to the center there. All right, so now that you have Frog, we can now... Hey, Robo, what's up, dude? Now we can go to the Magic Cave. Oh, that's right. You gotta go back. There you go. You gotta have Frog in your party and then enter the Magic Cave. And then that will actually trigger it. Now, something to understand about Frog is Frog has... Hold on, this part's really loud. His power level's over 9,000! Get wrecked! Okay, so... Excuse me. So, now then one of the nice things they did was you do not have to do that part. If I remember right, there was a... Isn't there a tab over here? I guess not. I thought there was an easy to access tab right there. But anyway, so you don't have to do the sealed cave. So then now you have access to Magus's lair. All right. So the thing to remember about Frog is that he has the Grand Leon. So that takes him from 97. So he starts off with the Bronze Edge. So basically it triples. It triples his ability. Also has a really high critical rate. And then on top of that, you can use the Hero Medal, which gives him plus 50% damage. It gives him a barrier and a shield. Okay? It gives him a barrier and a shield plus Sun Spec, so 50% damage. Oh yeah, I meant to do this. Prism Specs gives us... Yeah, okay. Prism Specs, yeah. So the Hero Medal also gives him basic Prism Specs, which is amazing. So, if you have a Frog with Grand Leon and Hero Medal, you can actually... I've seen Leap Slash or Stream totally make things happen. I can't believe it. Flame Tosses are final tech. That's pretty funny. But since Frog is so late in the game, he has Cure 2 and Slurp, which is okay. If he had Heal, then I might actually think about taking him along instead of Ayla, because Heal is amazing. It is overpowered, and it works like a charm. So... You put Frog on with a Silver Stud and Heal, that's not bad for your endgame healer for Lavos or the okay, well, the only problem is with Zeal 2, you do not want Anthropode 3. You do not want Anthropode 3. You do not want to hit all of the characters at once. Lavos, you don't want to hit the face and the 2 hands. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm getting way too far ahead of myself. So we'll talk boss strategies later on. So anyway, so we're gonna save it right here, and yeah. So we now have a stack. We have all the characters. We have all the checks are now done. We are now ready to run the go modes. So that is what we will do on the next episode here in the Frito Bendito Taqueria. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Next episode, we are going to we'll actually run Magus's Castle next. That is a long dungeon. That's one of the problems. Magus Castle is actually longer than Tyranno Lair. But you have to do either Magus's Castle or Tyranno Lair in order to unlock Zeal, the Kingdom of Zeal in 12,000 BC. So yeah, so that's something you got to remember when you're deciding which go mode that you want. Typically, people like Tyranno Lair better. Most runners would rather do Tyranno Lair than Magus's Castle, because you have a couple extra bosses that you have to beat. And those can be pretty rough if you're under leveled at that point. I've had some very fast Magus Castle go modes, and it's sometimes tough getting past Ozzy or Slash. No, not Ozzy. Flea or Slash at low levels. Also, I have had runs where I've had Dalton 2 instead of Flea for boss randomizer. That was not fun. So anyway, so we'll be talking about Magus Castle. We'll talk about all that crap when we get to it. So thank you very much for checking this out. So that ends all of the checks, all of the standard dungeon checks for the randomizer. So you may be thinking, well, what about Ozzy's Fort? What about there is Cyrus's Castle, and I think some of the traversal areas. You do not need those for standard race flags. Now, if we were doing Chrono Trigger Chrono Sanity, you would actually need to run every area minus the jail and Cyrus's Castle. Those two do not have key items at all. They did not put them in those two dungeons because the jail is a one-time only, and Cyrus's Castle just simply takes way too long. And it's a money sink. So you can't really do those. So anyway, so we're going to be running go modes next time. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Like this channel. Hit a subscribe button. Just remember, I have now realized that I am going to tell the squirrel story. Actually, no, we're not going to talk about that on this stream. There's a squirrel story. If you want to know more about the squirrel story, you got to check out the the live stream, and maybe you'll hear the squirrel story one of these days. So anyway, I'm sorry, we were talking about that earlier, and I totally got sidetracked. But yeah, so like the channel, follow this here, the Jets of Time or the Frito Bendito Taqueria, depends on what you're watching. Drop a like, hit the follow, leave a rant. That would be fantastic. Also, become a subscriber. Help out would be fantabulous. So, join the Discord as well. So until later, my friends, good night, Isaiah Norris. Wherever you are, I'm out of here. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. Oh, boy. Wow. How long did it take us in-game? It took us 4.5 hours in-game to do all these checks. Well, that also accounts for a lot of the time that I just spent yakking and talking about stuffs. So yeah, that is a very full tracker. You will very, very, very rarely, if ever, see a tracker this full. Unless you want to do 100% runs, which, there's some people that like to do those. But yeah, this is Chrono Trigger JOT Time. Chrono Trigger JOT Time. This is fun for me. This is kind of my I know Chrono Trigger backwards and forwards. I mean from a casual vanilla perspective. I was never a speedrunner on this game. I've done some Chrono Trigger JOT Time competitions before. I never did. I was like absolute mediocre at best. I did this one tournament. I mean, the only real tournament I've ever done was back in, I think it was the end of 2020. And they were doing this whole JOT Time tournament. And I did absolutely mediocre. So, yeah. Because I don't take a lot of risks when I play. I like to be a lot more safe on my routing. So, yeah, whatever. That just means I'm just a little bit slower. So, yeah. But I used to do these weekly races that were kind of fun. So, anyway, I'm trying to create a JOT Time community here on Rumble. Mainly because I was trying to kind of get some hype for Rumble on the official JOT Time Discord. And then I posted about my stream. And because I stream here on Rumble, which some of them said, there's people that say things we don't like. That means we're not going to let you post your stream here. Even though you're just running JOT Time, we're not going to support that platform at all. So you are not allowed to post your streams here if you stream on Rumble. You have been warned. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to just show myself the door because you guys are kind of jerks. Yeah. So anyway, so I'm trying to make my own community here on Rumble. So if you like Chrono Trigger is quite possibly one of the best games ever created. I have a huge piece of my heart for this game. I played this game so many times I can't even. This definitely is the game I have replayed the most in my entire life. I actually spent a whole summer and before I had kids, and I went through start to finish on a New Game Plus, and I got all 12 endings on New Game Plus. That was nuts. That was a lot of kicking Lavos' butt. that was a lot. So yeah, so that's gonna be it for me tonight. We're gonna cut the stream. But yeah, I just love this game. When I figured out there was a randomizer for it, I was just like, I might actually be able to do this randomizer, because there's randomizers for all sorts of games. I mean, there's Mario World randomizers, there's Final Fantasy randomizers, but it's like I don't know those games good enough. Like I don't know Final Fantasy 1 good enough to be able to do a randomizer. I don't know Final Fantasy 3 good enough to do a randomizer. I mean, I'd really like to do those randomizers, but I have no clue how to run them, just because I've only done Final Fantasy 3 once. I've done Final Fantasy 1 once. I just haven't played any of those games long enough to be able to know them. But Chrono Trigger, I've definitely played that game. The only other game that comes close to Super Mario RPG, I've actually tried doing that randomizer once, but I kind of got lost. I didn't know exactly what to do. But yeah, so if you've never played Chrono Trigger before, it's definitely worth your time. You can get it on PC now, albeit it is the inferior it's a port of the inferior mobile version. But the thing that I don't understand about some of these ports is why they always port the really crappy ones. You know, it's like, why did you take the mobile port and pop that one on PC? Why don't you just take the PS1 version and then pop that one on the PC? Or why don't you take the 3DS version and then pop that one on the PC? Why did you take the mobile port? That one was terrible. I don't know. But anyway, so that's going to be it for me tonight. So we'll be back tomorrow with some more MechWarrior 5. So William Paul should be rejoining us in the mechs. So that's always a good time. Yeah, so that's it for the stream tonight. So thank you all so much, everyone that's lurking right now. Just remember, it is not a requirement to be a chatter. Just make sure before you leave, hit that thumbs up icon. That'd be really appreciated. I would very much so appreciate that. And for those of you that have stuck around to the end of the stream, sincerely thank you. I've really enjoyed streaming on Rumble just because I don't have to worry. I just don't have to worry like I did on Twitch. You know, I don't have to worry that I'm going to say something that someone's going to get pissed off at, and I'm going to, my whole stream that I've worked so hard to get monetized and all that stuff based off of Twitch's crazy policies, you know, just crumbles into the dust. And here on Rumble, I mean, they open streamers with open arms. They welcome streamers with open arms. You can get monetized right away. And, you know, for me, I'm just a hobbyist. You know, I do this for kicks at night. This isn't my career. I'm a professional civil engineer. I do triathlons. I coach swimming as my side job, which pays a heck of a lot more than this pays. But you know, being able to do this and make a little bit of side cash just to, you know, buy a new game every once in a while. It's really nice. And so yeah, so thank you all so much. Thank you, Rumble, for accepting streamers like me. Thank you for making a platform that really just allows people just to say what they want. You don't have to agree with that, but just let people say what they want. No, who cares? It's up to us, the individual, to be smart enough to say, okay, that guy's full of crap. Okay, that guy's pretty smart. You know, we should be able to choose for ourselves. We should let people say what they want, and then we wear big boy pants, and we're able to tell what we want. You know, understand what we want to understand. You know. Anyway, I'm done. I'm done for tonight. So we're gonna cut the stream, and I think I'm gonna relax a little bit before I head to bed. So anyway, thank you all very much. If you want to know more about the stream, the Frito Bandito Taqueria, just join the Discord. Link is down below in the description. We have a really good time there. Yeah. So, yep. So that's going to be it. So thank you all so much for tuning in for realsies this time. This is the actual show close, unlike the 3, 4, or 5 soft closes I've done during the stream tonight. So anyway, thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. And if you're watching this as a VOD, thank you very much for checking these out. And good Lord, thank you for staying this long in the stream. God darn it. I hope you have like a big load of dishes to wash or some laundry. Or I've heard people that listen to streams while they're mowing their lawn. I'm like, crap, those are some good headphones, man. All right, I'm out of here. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I'll be back. I'm actually going to be back tomorrow morning. I'm going to get to sleep. I took this morning off, let my legs rest a little bit during the week, and we're going to be back on the bike. My lovely bike. So this is what's behind the curtain. So we're gonna remount my trusty steed tomorrow morning, and we're gonna be on Zwift. So yep. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Until later, my friends. For realsies this time. Good night, Isaiah Norris. Wherever you are, I'm out of here. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.